us ahead of this spring statement tomorrow. Now, business rates are a bugbear of mine too, because we should make clear to viewers and listeners, businesses pay business rates on the value of their shops or their premises or their factories, their capital equipment, whether or not they make profit, whether or not they make any money at all.
Before they've sold a single pint or anything else they may be selling, they're paying that business rate. And in the case of pubs, it is based on someone's assessment of what they should be able to make. So it's a really subjective assessment. And so one person's assessment will be completely different to another. And so you end up with these massive disparities between pubs of similar sizes, similar locations. And in some cases, so our report mentions Wells & Co., a relatively small chain in, I think, Bedfordshire. Their turnover's £30 million a year, of which 3.1 million goes straight in business rates, and that's before they've paid any staff, any beer duty, any rent.
That's 10% of their turnover, not of their profit.
Not a profit.
Their turnover.
10% of turnover.
Of all the revenues they take in, from which we then must subtract costs, and that's unbelievable. You know, I have to put it to you, Mike, and I'm sure you will have noticed, I know lots of your fellow Tory MPs, even cabinet members, have noticed, back in the Labour conference last autumn, I listened to Rachel Reeves' speech. She's the Shadow Chancellor. And she said, we're going to scrap business rates. Now, it's very easy to scrap things when you're in opposition because you don't actually have to do it. Business rates raise about £30-odd billion a year. It's big money. But I know a lot of Tory MPs like that idea, and I know the Federation of Small Businesses like that idea, and lots of GBNews viewers and listeners like that idea. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for Rishi Sunak's review of business rates. It's been long delayed. What's going on?
Completely. And yes, you're right. We all love that idea. But 6 months after she promised that, she's not yet said what she would replace business rates with, where, as you said, over £30 billion, and that's more or less the school's budget that you need to find. Now, business rates, it's an outdated taxation system. At best, it's a 1960s form of taxation. In reality, it's really just based on the same form of tax from Victorian times and before that from Elizabethan times.
It's like a window tax or something.
It's a really outdated form of taxation that looks more at property values and assumes that the value of the property you're trading out of is what's really determining your viability, your profitability. If that was ever the case, it's not the case in the digital age. And that's why you see the multinational digital firms like Amazon, like Google's, who are paying almost nothing in business rates. They're also paying fairly little in corporation tax. And I would question your introduction. I don't really want to see them paying the same business rates as community pubs. I want to see community pubs paying the same business rates as Google and Amazon, and then we'll all be happy.
Sure, you want a level playing field. The thing that always irks me about business rates is that if you are a factory owner and you think, I'm going to expand my business, I'm going to employ more people, I'm going to generate more exports for the British economy, I'm going to put in this massive new machine to go with my other machine because I think we're onto a winner here and I'm going to build some prosperity. You are then effectively taxed on that machine forever because every year it's including in the assessment of business rates. Same as a publican. I know you're from the all-party parliamentary beer group. If a publican wants to, or a restaurateur wants to enhance the value, make a better environment for their clientele, again, the increased value of their property is then they're taxed on that forever. It seems a really back to front way of doing it.
Yes, I mean, it is particularly the case for hospitality because they are assessed in that different way. And as you say, if you invest, whether it's in your pub, your restaurant, your hotel, you're spending money to try and make it a better business, a better service for your customers, then there's a massive incentive because all that happens is you then, it's revalued, you end up paying the extra money every single year. At the very least, we need a decent holiday period where you can start to get some of the benefit of that investment back before it starts going back to the Treasury.
Now,